Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with another War Scourge preparation guide and video for you. So in today's video, we're going to be going through each notes respectively and going through the best teams that you can utilize. I actually ended up getting a 2.7 mark around there, so it did land me in the top 1,000 around that time when I got it, but able to get me to a 5 yellow for Red Hulk regardless. That said, today's video, we're going to be going through the best team synergies for each node respectively, breaking them down. But as well, if you guys are looking for the actual playthrough and strategy of me playing it, the full gameplay, I do have that linked in the description below, so that way you guys can follow along, even just getting a sneak peek before that event comes live starting tomorrow. So that said, guys, just a reminder as well, if you're newer to the game or those in the mid game trying to unlock Red Hulk, not immediately, but just getting shards with each event running, keep in mind you just need to hit a bare minimum of 100k points, doable on difficulty 1, pretty straightforward if you have a team that's around 40,000, 50,000, I think is a pretty good safe mark. It's going to be able to get you the 100k, which lands you on the leaderboard, giving you a bare minimum of 40 shards. So doing that a couple times is going to naturally get you the unlock, which is highly what I recommend, especially if you're new to the game and those of you transitioning to the mid game or end game. So that said, what are the different node difficulties? What are they going to be requiring? So nodes 1 and 2, we're going to be needing bio characters. Nodes 3 and 4 require Avengers. We got nodes 5, which are generally the specific traits. These are Hero Asgardians, Ravagers, or Wave 1. Then we have nodes 6 and 7 being villains. Nodes 8 and 9 being skill. And then lastly, nodes 10 is the same as nodes 5, which is Heroes Asgardians, Ravagers, and Wave 1 needed. So again, guys, we're going to be going through some of the best teams, and my video, again, linked in the description below, does already go through that gameplay with some of these team references. So just keep that in mind if you guys are trying to see an example and how the playthrough went. So that said, I did save everything here in my arena, so I'm just going to work my way top down with some of the best teams, as well as my mindset in terms of why I recommend them. So first and foremost, guys, if you guys are doing nodes 1 and 2, I do recommend the Web Warriors as a whole. They got a really good job in synergy getting the task done. I actually didn't have any issues when I landed that 2.7 million point score with this is the team power I landed at, but they're a safe team to build because they are part of the Doom raids right now. The only exception is in the future if Doom 4 comes out, that's when I can see that rebirth is likely needed. But for my team anyways, we're doing it up to Doom 3.5, which is pretty much the end game as it gets for the Doom raids, and they're still doing pretty good. But I mean, obviously you can see their effectiveness being lost. The other consideration for the Web Warriors is that they're also one of the required teams for the Pestilence Scourge unlocking Morgan Le Fay. So you're going to be double dipping here, being able to get value from them being used in another War Scourge, but as well the Pestilence Scourge with Morgan Le Fay. Symbiotes, I have them here because they can be a B team. They can soak up damage. If you have remnants of them left, they can be that pseudo team that goes in maybe to soak up damage before the Web Warriors come in to clean up. But either way, if you have a pretty built up symbiote team and you're just hoping to unlock Red Hulk, you're not going to have an issue. It's more so if you want to get more competitive and going deeper into the Scourges. That pretty much rounds out node 1 and node 2. I didn't find that they were tricky, so you guys should be okay, so as long as you have one of these two teams ready to go and built up. Next up, we have nodes 3 and 4, again, needing Avengers only. So the only thing I will say here, guys, is we do have quite a bit of options being the Avengers. A lot of characters in the game are classified as Avengers, so it's a pretty generous amount. So my first and top recommendation, without a doubt, is the Young Avengers. It goes without saying they're needed in almost every Scourge event. They're the only required team that's actually can get you through the Famine Scourge unlocking Rogue, so it really does make sense to utilize their value there. They're also a really beginner-friendly team that you can get quite early in the game. I actually have almost all of them unlocked with the exception of Echo in my new Baby Rayge account. So I mean, they're really friendly from the beginning, transition to mid-game, they're powerful in Cosmic Crucible as well as War, and honestly, they're just used everywhere in the game, so that's actually why I would recommend. If you're using them for nodes 3 and 4, you probably won't have any issues, but the only thing I will say is that I would recommend, if you guys are planning on pushing deeper, you could probably sub a character out in this Young Avengers mixture for Thor, so that way Thor can build up his charges for the 5th node. That way he's ready to go with the stun. So who would we opt out? Probably America Chavez, because I like how the rest of the team functions with Miss Marvel soaking up damage, doing the assist attacks. We got Kate Bishop blinding, and then Squirrel Girl obviously doing a bulk of the heals and so forth. Other recommendations, if you guys are not having a built-up Young Avengers, well, we got the Secret Avengers. We got Sharon Carter, we got Captain Sam, and then we also have Maria Hill. The only thing you need to be cognizant about, though, is despite their effectiveness and how powerful they are, keep in mind we have skill nodes later on, and they are the core of that team as well. So you can use them here, but just be mindful of the fact that if any of them die, you can't use them later on. So something to keep in the back of your mind if you are planning to bring them up. Their synergy is good, and if you are planning to bring them, I also recommend here the 5 other characters that are pretty powerful for the Avengers nodes, which is Black Panther, Squirrel Girl again for her sustain. We got Hulk that you can also use for nodes 5 and nodes 10. Again, Thor to build up charges, and then Iron Man, giving us that mixture of that wave 1 a bit mixed up with Black Panther. But again, these are the 3 teams that I would recommend overall, and you can kind of change them around and slot them in if you will, because they all have value in the end game anyways. But my top recommendation for sure, Young Avengers. And then that leads us now to nodes 5, guys. So that odd mixture with Heroes Asgards, Ravagers, and Wave 1. The team that got me through it was actually Star-Lord T'Challa mixed in with Lady Thor, Thor himself, as well as Valkyrie, and then Hulk soaking up damage. So those 5 are very, very strong together, just because T'Challa can provide blinds. We got Mighty Thor, and as well as Thor having that synergy with the charges and just constantly going off with their damage, and Valkyrie giving buffs where needed, and then Hulk obviously soaking up damage, especially with an ISO 8 healer. He's very, very hard to take down. It's my top recommended team. Obviously, you can utilize the Ravagers as well, and then we also have the Wave 1, right? But this is a team that I highly recommend, because if you have a strong Thor, his charges, he's really the key to be going deeper and farther in the Scourges, just because of his natural passive damage and charge. So I didn't have the Ravagers here because you may want to consider them if you are planning to bring up a minion team for the Death Scourge, but the top recommendation, these 5 are generally acceptable in the game now. The only exception obviously is Mighty Thor just got released and she's farmable right now, but she is deeper in those the hard difficulty nodes, and then Valkyrie's not in the game. So if you don't have them, you may have to play around and substitute. And that's the case, then Wave 1 does make the most sense, you know, such as adding Black Widow, Hawkeye, Captain America who got reworked. That might make more sense if you're lacking these heroes Asgards. Next up, guys, so this could be node 6, node 7. It could be some of the easiest nodes in the game for this Scourge specifically, or it could be one of the hardest, depending on the characters you have. So I have 2 different team varieties here that I recommend since my rework there. But you can see here, this top team here of Lady Deathstrike, Omega Red, Morgan Le Fay, Dr. Doom, and Dormammu. These are all super endgame characters that you know it's gonna take time to get them, right? So if you don't have them, then that's why I slotted this other team that I have here: Agatha Harkness, Magneto. We got Doctor Strange, Heartless. We got Nemesis, and then Hela. I mean, both of them work out really well. It's just whether or not you have them unlocked, right? But I would say the villains nodes are pretty straightforward overall if you have some of these characters, especially Agatha being part of that lower tier. She's just such a juggernaut if you can have her abilities being readily available to assist you on your team journey. But again, some of these characters, I know they're pretty end game. So I did do my video with some lower tier characters, so use that as a navigation and guide if that helps in any way. But otherwise, no issues there. Next up, guys, we have the skill nodes. Now, in my opinion, if you have other skill characters, I would use them to soak up damage, but this is the team that got me through it. It's the Secret Avengers plus Shang-Chi and Kestrel. And this is actually funny because this is my standard Doom Raid team as well, and it's just, you know, funny enough, this hasn't changed at all. They're a very reliable team. Again, using them in Doom 3.5 raids, it's a little RNG based because of the fact that how powerful the enemies are up against, but regardless, used in all game modes, the synergy. Hopefully the Secret Avengers gets 2 additional party members to really give them that full potency and overall team dynamic, right? But otherwise, I think the skill nodes is generally where most folks will have an issue with, but these are the 5, and the good news is you can generally get most of them free to play early in the game, especially Shang-Chi being in a Blitz store, and Kestrel, not reliable, but she's available through ores. But if you have them all built up, they're going to be, you know, bringing you dividends for the long haul, especially given their value in the end game. And then lastly, guys, notes 10. Back to my notes 5 team here, which is T'Challa, Mighty Thor, Valkyrie, and Hulk. This is actually the same team that got me through it as well. I think in my video I did it with Black Widow to add additional speed up. I mean, regardless, these 5, if you have them built up around this power, they can take you really far, especially that Thor. Again, his damage is going to be very key and could be the difference maker in wiping out some enemy waves, right? So there you guys have it. Those are the team synergies I still recommend right now overall with this event coming back. Again, I'm going to link my video in the link below here just in terms of the full gameplay, because it could help to illustrate the attack order and how well these guys run. And that was a difficulty 6 as well, which is an immediate unlock of Red Hulk if you have them built up. So there you guys have it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I do appreciate hearing back from you guys. Thank you as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.